In a greenhouse around the corner, finding energy solutions. Just around the corner is where it's all happening. In a greenhouse around the corner, finding energy solutions. Just around the corner is where it's all happening.
Welcome to A Greenhouse Around the Corner. I'm your host, Tricia Zima. We're touring Australia in search of energy-efficient education centres that are also sustainability leaders in their communities. Today we have journeyed to Heyfield, Victoria, to the Heyfield Community Resource Centre. This centre has won the Pam Keating Environmental Sustainability Smart Town Award for their innovative practices. The Heyfield Community Resource Centre has installed a range of energy-efficient systems, including solar panels and solar hot water services. They also use informative signage to educate the users of the facility to help reduce their energy costs with simple tips, such as switch the lights off when you leave the room. And the centre has also created a 3-flag system that has motivated over 380 of the 700 homes and businesses within the town to install energy-efficient systems themselves. This achievement, as well as hosting a yearly sustainability festival, has made them a community leader in energy efficiency and the hub of Heyfield. Join us as we explore this green centre of excellence.
We have a very vibrant community here. The range of things we do from our resource centre is huge. Continuing with education that is certified and pre-accredited training. We do hobby projects here. We also have our community garden, our men's shed, our occasional childcare. It goes on and on. And if something new eventuates tomorrow, we'll be doing it. The public has become very aware through our efforts of sustainable living practices. And to achieve that, we started with very, very simple practices. It started with interviewing people outside the local supermarket and making them aware that you can make very small and inexpensive changes to your life practices. We very quickly did the sums for them and they understood totally, if I can get this money now together and purchase this $50 item, I can recoup that cost in the next 12 months. So people didn't necessarily go and spend lots of money to become more energy efficient. It was, when the time comes, what should I do? Hot water service breaks and I need a new one. Or I might go with solar, I think. What are my choices? So we've had to keep on top of technology. It's just not a matter of having a solar hot water. You have to know how are you going to boost that water if it rains for 10 days. Then of course there's the solar panels, which puts power back into the grid. We have had an enormous response to that. And people, they are seeing that the advantage is there for greenhouse emissions and for their power consumption.
My name's Jamie Jamieson. I'm a local plumber and gas fitter based in Traralgon. I'm also the director of a company called Traralgon Solar and Gas. The system we fitted up to the Heyfield Energy Resource Centre was a thermosiphon solar water heater, or considered a passive solar water heater. It's a system where it's a close coupled system, so it has the tank, storage cylinder and the roof as well as the collectors. The benefit of using that type of system as opposed to a split system is that it's a passive heating. So what basically happens is you have a specific gel inside the collectors, and the sun heats the gel, and the thermal heat that we get from the sun then causes the gel to naturally rise towards the storage cylinder above, transferring the heat naturally. So there's no requirement for any pumps or controls or electronic devices or anything like that for obviously energy consumption or future maintenance or anything like that. So they're pretty much the only type of solar water heater available where you can actually turn the power supply to the system off altogether, and for at least, you know, sort of 60 to 70% of the year will still generate hot water. Completely frost-proof as well because of a heat exchanger, so they're pretty much a perfect system. Yeah, it's the single biggest thing an electricity-based household can do to reduce their bills, because if normally an electric storage water heater generally accounts from anything from 30 to 60% of a household's energy consumption, and that being one appliance, it's quite effective to actually you know, just replace that one appliance with a solar water heater and reduce your energy consumption by up to 60%. So, yeah, really effective. What they've done up in Heyfield is brilliant. I think they've got something like some of the most PV panels installed per capita around Australia or something, which is just crazy for a small community like that. So they're very focused, they're doing a brilliant job. I love working with them because they're great girls to deal with, they're easy to deal with, they're happy, they like to get involved, keep everybody updated. Yeah, it's inspiring what they're doing, it's good.
Research is the key. That's the key for everybody, and I guess it's the same whatever we do in life, we just don't go off on a whim and make a choice. So it was talk to the providers of, let's say, the solar hot water. The choices we found were that you can use your solar panels to heat the water. When the water's not heated, you can have choices. Heat your tank up as you would normal electric tank, or to have that heating as it's used. So if your hot water tank has gone cold, don't heat up your 300 litres, only heat up the litre or so that you need as you need it. Then we had to weigh the costs up against whether that could be electric heating or gas heating.
A hot water system can burn up a lot of energy in a community centre, particularly if it's an old one. The first thing everyone should do is get hold of a plug-in power meter and stick it on your hot water system for at least a week, even better if it's a month. That'll give you an idea of how much power your hot water is costing you. If you've got an old style continuous water heater, here's a few things you can do straight away. Lower the thermostat to 60 degrees. Improve the insulation around the tanks, pipes and valves. Make sure you switch it off over the holidays, and think about putting on a 24-hour timer so it's not keeping water hot overnight when nobody's using it. If your old system's just about had it, now's the time to start planning to replace it. Newer systems are a lot more efficient, and you can wait for a good deal if you're not buying one in an emergency. If you don't use a lot of water, your best option might be an instantaneous electric system. That way you're not constantly keeping a big tank warm. For bigger quantities, look into a solar system, preferably one that has a gas or electric backup system for when the weather's not too flash. And if you're up north, you might get the best results out of a high-efficiency heat pump unit, which sucks the heat out of the ambient air and uses it to heat up your water tank. And then there's the little things you can do. Use flow-limiting taps. Install water-saving shower heads. Put the plug in the sink when you're washing the dishes. Use a kettle instead of a big urn if you're going to use less than 6 or 7 cups worth of water. I hope that's got you thinking. Visit our website for more tips to make sure your hot water system isn't getting you into hot water.